Welcome to Beauty of Life and Love. Today's episode, we're talking about parenting and working and how to manage both at the same time, whether you have young kids, teenage kids, or kids going off to college, going off to university, how I managed to deal with kids when they were young and growing a business. And today we're going to share two stories from two parents who share their parenting and with kids that they have, whether they're off to school, nursery, college, and how we trying to find time for family life and working, because as you know, it's not easy. We're trying to find time to help our kids with their homework, want to spend time with them doing school runs, but at the same time we need to work or we want to work. Either way, it's just managing the time, managing the life that we want to create, and also being there for our kids. Now, first I'm going to talk about what I've done or what I've been doing so I can share my stories. And I've got two stories from a mum and a dad who are happy to share how they do it. So let's get on with it. So I did start my business, and I did have my firstborn, who at the same time, was a baby, and I had my business. So it was like had two babies. I was starting up my first business and also trying to look after a newborn at the same time. So I was learning, how to be a mom, breastfeeding, sleepless nights, and at the same time doing everything I can to try to grow my business. So it was just two. A lot of people think that I was crazy how I manage, but it was rewarding at the same time. Having a newborn took a lot of my time, as you know. They require a lot, especially as I was up every 2 hours feeding my baby, changing nappies, making sure that he was okay. And while he napped, I was trying to set up my business, run my business, trying to make it successful. So it was just juggling the two. I thought that I could do it. Well, thinking back, I have to give myself a tap on the shoulder because it was a lot of hard work. But it was how I managed my time. It's what I wanted to do. I don't regret anything at all. But I did say to everyone, maybe don't follow my footsteps and how I done it, but in a way, take my advice and just, like I say, plan your time, plan when to do your work while your baby is sleeping, or plan when your baby is playing, then maybe just do a few content. There are ways around it. There are ways, but it is hard, but at the same time, it is rewarding. I've got two kids now who are older now, so it is easier, but when they're young and you're trying to work and looking after them, being there for them, because they need your attention too, they need to learn, they want your time 24/7, but at the same time you want to work, you want to do something for yourself, because I know for a fact that how spending 24/7 with your children can drive you crazy. You do want a bit of a time. I mean, I didn't even have time to even go to the toilet, with them knocking on my door, them running in. As you know, if you're a parent, you will know you don't have time for yourself, not even 5 minutes. Even when you want to have a break, hide yourself in the bathroom. They'll still come looking for you. They want to share. They want to come and sit with you in the bathroom. I've heard that stories many, many times. But at the same time, you have to make time for yourself. I do know that there are parents out there who have to work, have to provide for their family, and to fit in even a part-time job is hard. It is hard because you're trying to work, make money for your family, and also be there for your children. And as I say, when they get older and they're off to school, you will have to manage your time, doing the school runs, picking up them from school, making their lunches, and sometimes I do say that if you can get help, try to get help, because a little goes a long way. Even if you have someone that could look after your kids for 2 hours or 3 hours so that you can do your thing, or even do the school runs, see if they can pick up your kids for you. One helping hand, an extra helping hand, it can help you out. Now that my kids are in school, it is easier for me to work and still be there for them. As you know, they're in school for 6 hours a day. I drop them off. They come home from school and they still do their homework. But they understand now that mummy needs to work, daddy needs to work. They do know that they do have homework to do. So you set out time that they do their homework, prepare their meal, and it does get easier. But as I say, if you are working, whether it's full time or part time, and looking after children, maybe have a sort of a plan, a schedule for them. This is the time that they're off to school, so you manage to fit in your work. This is the time that they come home, so you have an hour or two with them, and then you can get back to work. It's not easy, but if you try to manage it, it is doable. Now I'm going to read two stories that have been sent to me, and it's very nice to share other people's stories to let others know that you're not alone. You're not the only one out there who have to work and have kids and try to juggle the two. Or if you, even if you work part time, it's fitting in those days to be able to work and to do parent stuff. You want to be there for your kids. They need your time as well, especially if they need your help with homework and you need to prepare meals for them. It does take a lot of your time and it can drive you crazy, but then it is rewarding at the same time. But to see your kids see you work, so you're kind of inspiration to them, it's a good thing too. Now I've got one mum who is called Mama Bear, and she's happy to share her story. So she messaged me and wanted to share what she does with her kids. So I'm just going to read out what she wrote. So this is from Mama Bear. She's a mother with teenage kids and she works part-time. She works 3 days a week, and this is what she said. I manage the kids around my working hours. My kids have after school clubs on the days that I work. I work 3 days a week, which helps me have my mental break away from the kids, and it helps me to have my time to get away, to talk to colleagues, so I'm not always stuck at home. My kids are older now as they're in the teenage years, so they can look after themselves and come home and go to school. I prepare meals for them ready, so when they come home, they have their dinner ready and they know to do their homework. I leave notes for them so that it reminds them to do their homework and clear up the dishes once they're done with their dinner. So when I get home from work, I know that they've done their homework and they've done their chores and they're ready to be tucked in bed. I like this schedule as I can work 3 days a week and I know that they are happy and I am happy, and I also have time to enjoy with my children on the weekends. So yeah, that's from Mama Bear. Thank you for that. And that's how she works with her schedule. Do understand that her kids are older, so they're probably in secondary school, as she says that they're in the teenage years. So she's managed to have a schedule for them, so when they come home from school they have the dinner ready, and they know to do their homework and they know to clear up the dishes after they've done. So by the time she gets home, she doesn't need to worry about their dinner. She doesn't need to worry that, or nag them to do their homework, as they know that this is what they have to do after school. And it's good that she left notes, or leaving notes for them, so that it reminds them that yes, they have to do their homework, they have to clear the dishes after their dinner, so that their mum, when they come home, she doesn't need to have to worry about all that. And it is easier when you have kids who can look after themselves, are independent. So obviously, because they are in secondary school, I'm guessing that they do go to school by themselves, come home by themselves, they know what to do, and they have each other to help them out. So thank you, Mama Bear, to share that story. And it's good that you're able to work part-time 3 days a week. It's good to get out there, socialize with your colleagues, have that time for yourself, because I know, and I've spoken to a lot of mums and dads, that once the kids are in school, it's their freedom. I feel free. I mean, I felt the same way. Once, when my kids have gone to school full time, oh my God, I was dancing around in my kitchen and singing the song, I'm free. And you've seen that going around social media as well, because, when you're with your kids all the time, sometimes you do need a break. And when they're off to school, it's like, good. I can have some time to myself. So thank you, Mama Bear. And I've got another one who is anonymous, but is oh, sorry, he's a dad and he's a father of 4 kids. And this is what he says: I work full time and my wife work part time 2 days a week. We send the kids off to nursery and to school, and we both take turns doing the school runs. And we manage our time around my working schedule and when my wife works 2 days a week. It is rewarding, but it is hard. As I say, I have 4 kids and we are still able to manage to work. My wife likes to work those 2 days. As you say, it's a break from being at home. Now that my kids are in school, I managed to be able to work in the office a bit more, and I can help my wife out when I get home from work. It is rewarding, and I love the freedom that now that they're in school. When they were little and babies, my wife wasn't able to work, but I was able to work and also help her out. So thank you for that. So now, the kids are in school. He's got 4 kids, and I'm guessing they're in nursery and in primary school. And when the kids are in school, it does makes it easier for you or your partner to go back to work, to do what you want to do. Maybe even if you like doing hobbies, go working out at the gym or go swimming or even knitting. It gives you time for yourself, so you're able to have that mental break. Because I do know that sometimes when you're a parent and you're doing all those parenting things, it does get a lot, and it does get overwhelming as well, and you just want to do something for yourself. So going to school, kids, when they go to school, it does a lot for your mental break, for your mental health. That's why a lot of people like to go to work or prefer to go back to work once the kids are in school, so that you get to meet people out there, you get to speak to another human being. You're not just speaking to your kids, you're not speaking baby language. So it is good. That's my intake, is if you're able to go out there and go back to work, do it, even if it's for 2 or 3 days, or do something that not even just working, because some people have the privilege to, they don't need to work or they don't have to work. Go out. There are clubs out there, coffee clubs. Find a hobby, something you enjoy, or learn something new. There are many things and many ways out there just to have a mental break. Dealing with kids and doing all the other parenting stuff. The school ones is tiring too. But then at the same time, when they're on school holidays, you just want them to go back to school. But then when you're doing the school ones, you're thinking, I'm tired from all the school ones. So it's a funny one, because I feel the same. Doing the school ones in the morning, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm tired. When it's the holiday, but then when it's holidays, thinking, please go back to school now. Please just go. I need a break. I need a break. So that's very interesting to hear. But if you are a parent, or if you're working full time and you want to share your stories, let others hear what you've been doing, or ways that we can help each other, because I want to build this community. I want everyone to be able to engage with me. I would love to hear what you've been doing, share your stories, because it's good to know what others are doing, whether you are fixing in working and being a parent, or if you're finding it difficult. If you hear other people's stories and see what they've been doing, it would help. Even if you're just helping just one person or two, it's a really good help. And that's what I like to share. I like to share my stories and see what other parent can take from me, and share other people's stories, because it's good. It's good to share. Like I say, it's good to share, and we want to build a community. I want listeners to know that they're not by themselves. If you are struggling, or if you're juggling looking after kids, and but then you just want to go out there and work. There are loads of places now that does hybrid working. They do understand that now you do have a family that you need to look after. You need to do the school runs, or even if you leave your child with a nanny or a childminder, and you need to get back at a certain time to pick them up. A lot of companies now do understand, and they do. Majority of them offer hybrid now. So even if you want to work full time, you could ask your employer, look, can I work part time 2 or 3 days a week? So and so I need to do my school ones, or I need to pick up my kids, and they do understand. So a lot of companies do understand that a lot of people, family comes first, and especially with kids, it's non-negotiable. If you need to pick up your child, you need to pick up your child. You're not going to leave your child waiting for you in the school. So there are ways around it. If you want to go back to work, let your employer know that you want flexible working. See if they offer flexible working and hybrid working, because I do know that there are a lot of companies that does hybrid working now, or they even have remote working. So that's good for you too. So there are ways out there. There are a lot, like I say in my previous podcast episodes, there are resources too. There are ways to help. There's a lot of nurseries out there that you could maybe put a child or children in, childminders, nursery. There are loads of help out there. So that if you can, and if you will, you can fit in working and kids. It is hard. Like I say, sometimes some people feel like they don't have any help, or they can't get any help. But like I say, there are help out there if you just look for it. If you have a partner that can help you out as well, that also is a great benefit too, because like I say, when I had my babies and I was trying to grow my business, I had my husband who helped me out a lot. He understood that there are days where I just have to concentrate on my business. There are meetings that I have to attend. I even went overseas when my babies were small, but I relied on my husband. I didn't have any other help apart from my mum on a few weekends, but I didn't have a nanny. They did not go to nursery at a young age. I sent them to nursery when they were 3 years old. I don't know. At that time, I was just thinking that I want them with me all the time, but if there are help out there. Like I say, if you feel like you are alone, you are not alone. That's why I like to share these stories. I like to share other stories about parents who can share, so that others can relate to, because you are not alone. But like I say, if there's anything else that you would like to know about anything, just let me know, and I'm happy to share my story and get others to share theirs too. I don't like to dwell too much on parenting and working, because everyone is different. I like to share other people's stories. I like to share my story, but everyone does things differently. Everyone find help differently. With me, I had my husband to help. I had my mum who works full time, but sometimes on weekends I do ask her, not so much anymore, but when my kids are small, mum, I need your help. Just can you just look off for 2 or 3 hours? So if you do have someone else that can help you, like a family member, some friends, maybe if when they have kids, they can get all the kids together. See if you can ask for help, because there's no harm in asking. If you want to work, just work weekends, and then you find out that you have a friend or family member that are able to look after your kids for a few hours or a day that you're able to work. Ask them, because you never know. They can turn around and go, yeah, they could help you out. But if you don't ask, you won't know. So it's, that's another thing, to ask for help when you need to. So that helps too. So episode is coming to an end. It's a short one. It's just about trying to fit in working and having kids, and able to share 2 stories from a mum and a dad, and how they manage. Obviously from Mama Bear, she had teenage kids, and from the dad, he's got 4 small kids. So you can see that both are working. One's working part-time, one's working full-time, and they manage to able to fit it in. Like I say, if you plan, try to manage your time. There are days when it is hard. I know that there are days when your kids are sick and you have to take that day off, or when you've got something planned and then your kids fall sick. Things just happen at the spur of the moment, so not everything's going to go to plan. I mean, there's so many days where I had a meeting one day and then my son vomited in the morning, and I'm like, I can't attend this meeting because my son needs me, so I had to cancel the whole meeting. Things like that do happen, but that's life. That's what you have to do. That's just life. And then you just have to rearrange your meeting, or rearrange the days that you have to work, because as you know, your kids come first. And as I say, my kids are my number one priority. Me being a mum, it's number one ahead of anything else. So if they need my time, I would cancel whatever I need or whatever I'm doing on that day if my kids needs me. Like I say, other than that, just plan. See if you can work around your children's schedule, work around your schedule. Because remember, your kids, you should not work around your kids mainly. I mean, they should work around you. That's why I heard the saying. But then you should, be equal and see when they need you, or when you need your own time. What days can you work? What days can you do this? If you want to set up I don't know, a day out or socialize or coffee break, you can do all that. You don't need to be stuck in a rut all the time just because your kids are in school and you're thinking, I need to do this, I need to do this for the kids, I need to do this. Take some time for yourself, or even if you're working part-time, that's the days that you can go out there on your way to work, grab a coffee, treat yourself, because this is your time. When you're coming home from work, maybe listen to a podcast, read a book on your way home from, on the train, or when you're coming home. Because, when you get home and you open that front door, that's your time with your kids. You have to do all the chores, the home stuff. Because when I come home, I know that once I've entered the house, that's it. Mama mode is on. My kids needs me. I need to ask them how their day was, find out if they've done their homework, tuck them in bed, make sure they bath. That's it. That's your mummy time. But when you're outside, that's your time. Grab yourself a nice coffee, treat yourself to a meal. Even just have dinner outside by yourself. At least you've got your break. This is your time. When you go home, that's your kids' time. And so that's a bit of advice that I like to give. While you're out and your kids are in school, or when you're out working, that's your day to be able to treat yourself, take your time, because I know that when I'm with my kids, I'm always rushing. Does people feel me on this? That you always feel like you're in a rush? Because when I'm out with my kids, or I know that I have to get home for my kids, anything related to my kids, I feel like I'm always rushing. Like there's a time that hasn't been, I've got to get this done in 20 minutes. I need to get this done. Oh, I need to be home by this time to pick up the kids from school. They need to eat at this time. I feel like I'm always rushing. But when I'm by myself and I know that I don't need to rush. They're in school. They don't need to finish school till 3:30. Take your time. Enjoy the environment that you're in. Enjoy your coffee. Enjoy your cake. Enjoy your meal. I know I've got friends who are mothers who decided that they're going to go and grab a meal by themselves and just sit there and just look at the view that they're in, just take their time, because they know that once they get home, it's chaotic. It's parent mode, whether your mum or dad or I don't know, an auntie that's looking after kids. When you're right with kids, you're in a mode where everything is just about them. So it's good to take your time, do what you need to do, because I know when it comes to kids, it's just everything's about them. And because I'm like that, and I know that a lot of parents are like that as well. So let me know if there's anything you would like to share, because I'd love to share your stories. Share how you do it, what kind of thing that you do. Have you able to go back to work? What hobbies that you're able to fit in? What kind of lifestyle that you like to share with others out there who like to listen, because we like to share our stories and I like to share mine. But the next few episodes will be a fun one. It will be more about lifestyle, fashion, beauty, more about businesses, and anything that you'd like to share, please let me know. know, please follow my fashion brand Esme Grant on Instagram and TikTok. Follow, and we'll discuss more on the next coming episodes. Bye.